this time, I'd like to call to order the December 2nd, 2014 Yukon, Oklahoma City Council meeting. If you would rise with me for the invocation by Pastor Ron Rasmussen from Christ Church, Yukon, and our salute.
Father, thank you for our leadership. Thank you for the way you work in every echelon of society to bring that about. And I thank you, Lord, for the good minds that are here. Good minds, good character, fun at times, serious when they need to be. I thank you for all those great qualities. But Lord, that's not enough, and we just stop to recognize it. We're not enough. We really do need you. We need your character qualities in each of us. We need them, Father, especially when we're trying to lead. So I would just ask your blessing, Lord, especially on our council tonight, thanking you for them, asking you to continue to bless them with your very presence as they share in decision-making processes tonight. In Jesus' name, amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Call the roll, please.
Smith.
Here.
McCarron. Here. Alberts.
Here.
Russell. Here. Yonda.
Here.
This is our time for presentations and proclamations.
None this evening, Mr. Mayor.
Having none, we'll move on to the visitor section. If you would like to address the council on a non-agended item, this would be your time to speak. I don't think we have any submissions for the visitor section. So we'll recess as the Yukon City Council, reconvene as the Yukon Municipal Authority. Item 1A is the consent docket. This item is placed on the agenda so the Yukon Municipal Authority by unanimous consent can designate those routine items that wish to be approved by one motion. If an item does not meet with the approval of all authority members, that item will be heard in regular order. The city manager recommends a motion to approve A, the minutes of the regular meeting of November 18th, 2014, and B, payment of material claims in the amount of $117,093.43. Do we have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Thank you. Do we have any discussion? Having no discussion, call the roll, please.
McCarron. Yes. Alberts.
Yes.
Smith.
Yes.
Russell.
Yes.
Yonda.
Yes.
Item 2A is to consider approving an acquisition of a New Holland T5-105 tractor for a net cost of $26,984 to be part of the master lease purchase program as recommended by the Public Works Director. Do you have a motion?
Motion to approve.
Second.
Thank you. Do we have any discussion? Having no discussion, call the roll, please.
Russell.
Yes.
Smith.
Yes.
Yonda.
Yes.
McCarron. Yes. Alberts.
Yes.
At this time, we'll adjourn as a YMA and reconvene as a Yukon City Council. Item 1 is a consent docket. This item is placed on the agenda so the City Council, by unanimous consent, can designate these routine items that wish to be approved by one motion. If an item does not meet with the approval of all council members, that item will be heard in regular order. The city manager recommends a motion that will approve A, the minutes of the regular meeting of November 18th, 2014, B, payment of material claims in the amount of $391,210.87, C, designating the items on the attached list from the Technology Department as surplus and authorizing their sale, donation, or trade, D, setting the date for the next regular council meeting for December 16th, 2014, 7 p.m. in the council chambers of the Centennial Building, 12 South 5th Street. Do we have a motion?
Motion. Motion to approve.
Thank you.
Second.
Thank you. Do we have any discussion? No discussion. Call the roll, please.
Smith.
Yes.
Russell.
Yes.
Alberts.
Yes.
Yonda.
Yes.
McCarron. Yes.
Item 2 is reports of boards, commissions, and city officials, and I see that we have library board this evening. Ms. Charlotte Novak, Chairman, if you would step forward, please.
The first thing I would like to do this evening is to introduce our board. We have, of course, we have Sarah, who is our librarian. She is your employee. Next is Lee Wells. She represents Ward 1 and 2. She will be your chairman next year for 2015. Next is, I think, Margaret Albrecht. She represents Ward 4. Is that who's next? I can't see. And the next is Joyce Roman, who represents Ward 2. I was very happy to attend this last week's Thanksgiving service for our community, and I was very pleased to hear our city manager talk about what he was thankful for. Well, I want to tell you what we are thankful for. We are thankful for a city manager and a city council who realizes the importance of a library in a community, and they are willing to support us and fund us, allowing us to be one of the best libraries of our size in the state. Our library is ever evolving and changing, and who could imagine 10 years ago that we would be reading books and magazines on our phone or a tablet? Even with the addition of digital materials, in-house circulation has remained strong. In the past year, we have joined a consortium of libraries purchasing digital magazines, so without increasing our cost, has gone from offering about 40 magazines to over 250. So far in 2014, we have circulated 117,397 in-house items, 20,801 e-books, and our digital magazines have been 1,648, going from approximately 60 per month prior to joining the consortium to approximately 225 per month. We have 26,663 cardholders, and this year 109,358 people have visited the library. We, as the board and staff, are very proud of our materials and the services that we offer this community, and we want to thank the city council and the city manager for everything they do for us. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Ms. Novak. Thank you for all that you do.
Thank you.
Moving on to a public hearing regarding the declaration of structures at 300 Walnut Avenue as a public nuisance. We have two requests to address the council on this subject. There will be a 3-minute time limit on your addressing the council that will be strictly enforced. At this time, I'd like to call forward Ronnie, and I'm sorry, Ronnie, is it Babb? Mr. Babb, if you would step forward, give us your name and address.
My name's Ronnie Babb. I live 200 South 2nd, Yukon.
Thank you.
My problem is down there where I live 200 South 2nd. Well, where Maple, I think it's Maple and 3rd Street, where it's got that washout goes down through there. That alley there, I've conducted a bunch of fleas all over my front door. There's rats down there eating my cars up. There's a bunch of fleas, and I've had a rat eat through the top of my ceiling. Now, I've addressed this problem before. Well, they come down there and they cut the trees down. Well, they ain't been back, and it's a mess. And I shouldn't have to live like that. Even though I live in that part of the neighborhood. I mean, we've dealt with this now for about 5 years, and I told them about it. I reported to Mr. Silk about, it's probably 2 months ago, and I guess he never got the word, I don't know. And then I went back and reported it to the lady down here that takes the complaints. Mr. Silk come out and said that he would take care of it, but he didn't say when. I said, well, how long am I going to have to live like this? That's a hazard. It's a health hazard, number one. Number two, when you can't get outside your door. And they asked me to take my fence down. I took it down for them. I'm trying to get along the city. I took the fence down. So I just, expect if they take care of their end of it too. And because them rats are eating me. I mean, there's rats down there bigger than cats. And that ain't fun. Because if they get in my house and bite one of us, it's not going to be a good deal. I mean, right or wrong, it should be cleaned up. Because it's a mess down there. I mean, I sprayed my yard. I take care of my stuff. I do what the city asked me to do. And I expect the same out of them. That's all I got to say.
Thank you, Mr. Babb.
Thank you.
I apologize. I thought that was actually on the same topic that we're on for the public hearing. We do, however, have Barbara Waller that would like to address the council regarding the public hearing regarding the structures at 300 Walnut Avenue. Ms. Waller, you have 3 minutes, ma'am, to address the council. Thank you.
I have my helper here with me, and if you will look in front of you on your desk, we already passed out some packets so that they are already in front of you.
Ms. Waller, would you state your address for me, please?
I'm Barbara Lorenzen Waller, and I am live in El Reno at 111 South the alphabet letter K, and I have purchased the the Cottonwood Manor property there at 300 Walnut. In my packet, that I have already given to everyone in the up front there, you will find many pictures. The before picture that the enforcement people gave you last week, and an after picture showing that all of this had been done. Receipts, emails, designs, I have here. My helper is showing those, and a police report from the report that happened during the last meeting, where they didn't find anything. The only thing they found was that the building was fully secure. There, as I looked through open records and had requested those, there have been no other reports received back to 2009, or I was not provided with them. There have been no fines. There have been no prosecutions on that property. My attorneys in June requested the open records so we could try to work out whatever was the problem. I requested them again November the 20th, which was just the other day. The copies were picked up on the 24th. I noticed that in the Yukon review, it said rumored different things that had possibly occurred. I noticed that they said no plans have been brought forward. I have brought forward an inquiry about office plans and have some office plans here to start with. The Oklahoma Resource Board has told me that I am grandfathered in, the same as all of the houses on 3rd Street and up Popular, and that building doesn't have to come down because of any flood or any regulations like that. I have an engineer firm that has came out and looked at the building, and they sent an email, which is in your packet, and they say, and I quote, "It's my opinion that the building did not pose any life safety issues." And this was Wallace Engineering, and they have worked a lot with old buildings in Tulsa and in Oklahoma City to redo them and make them into modern buildings.
Ms. Waller, your 3 minute has actually expired, but I'd like to give you 1 more minute to finish your thoughts.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure that you looked and seen that everything had been completed. You have been presented with the city council, the city clerk has been presented a notice of demand, which is the legal description in meets and bounds. And I do at this time demand that this property be removed from any city council actions or agenda for at least a period of 120 days, beginning today, the 2nd, whereby I can have some adequate time to arrange for possible rehab possibilities or possibilities
Thank you,
of
Ms.
the
Waller.
demolition.
Thank you.
And I also am a
Ms.
single
Waller,
female.
your time has expired. I want to thank you, though, for presenting this
Okay.
so eloquently to the council.
All right.
Moving on to item 3 is consideration, discussion, and possible action to declare the structures at 300 Walnut Avenue a public nuisance, giving the property owner a reasonable period of time to abate, and I might read that one more time, giving the property owner a reasonable period of time to abate the nuisance, and in the event the owner has not abated the nuisance within the given time, directing staff in the discretion of the city manager to take action to abate the nuisance. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Do we have a second?
Second.
Thank you. Do we have any discussion?
I have a question.
Yes, sir.
What would be a reasonable period of time for her to abate the nuisance?
And that period of time I was gonna interrupt needs to be part of the motion.
Okay.
All right, if you'd like to amend your motion to add a specified period of time.
Can we have a discussion before I amend it?
Sure.
Okay, because I,
Well, there's a motion and a second, so you're more than
Okay.
welcome to discuss the matter.
because that's what I don't know, what a reasonable amount of time to abate, because it looks like from what I've read here that this has been going on for a long period of time, so does staff have a recommendation? Is Mitchell here? Does someone have a recommendation?
I might just mention.
I need some help.
Yeah, and I might just mention, if you don't mind, the property was purchased by Ms. Waller in March.
Right,
This is December.
I understand.
To say a certain specified time is a little difficult. If nothing happens at all within 60 days, then certainly the time shortens up. If something happens, there's a lot of communication going on, there's progress being made in abating the nuisance, then the time lengthens out, in my view. But certainly no less than 60 to 90 days, I wouldn't think, I think that'd be a reasonable amount of time.
We had an agreement, Ms. Waller came to my office, she brought a professional engineer, Mark Ritchie, and she brought either 2 or 3 lawyers back in July. Mitchell was there, I think Ken Silk was there as well, but we had a library full of people. And after she consulted with her attorney and her engineer, they told us, and they put it in writing, that they could have a plan for either a rehabilitation, step-by-step rehabilitation, a plan within 90 days from that period of time. And agreed at that period of time and put it in writing that if they did not have a plan for rehabilitation within 90 days, then they would present us with an agreement with a demolition company that they would at that point, and that time ran in October. So I would think 90 days, I mean, if they were able, with an engineer and an attorney, or 3 attorneys, tell us that 90 days was sufficient, I would think that would be more than adequate.
And what, may I, Your Honor?
Please.
Was there, you said there was a plan that, did you write something up? You said it was put in writing?
No, we wound up memorializing that through emails, Gabe Bass's office, Kevin Cunningham, and Ryan somebody. But what I'd asked them to do was, within a period of time, tell me what steps they were gonna take to determine whether or not that property could be rehabilitated. And what I expected was, from Mark Ritchie or from the attorney, something that says in 2 weeks we will have conducted our observations and measurements and all that. Within 4 weeks we will have conducted some type of a minimal market study. Within so many weeks we would have come up with a cost of rehabilitation and determine whether or not it's feasible. They never came up with anything like that.
So after that meeting, you never heard anything else?
Just that we're gonna get it to you. And then the most recent one was, they don't represent her anymore.
Okay. Because the rehab, I mean, because she's provided a list of some things that have been done, appear to be cosmetic, but we're looking for more than that. I mean, we're looking to
Either rehab.
the structure
Or if it's feasible to do that, there are other issues with that, in that the property is so dilapidated that if the cost of rehabilitation exceeds 50% of the value, and because it's in the floodway, or flood zone, floodplain, then it's gotta be demolished anyway. So there are other issues, and that's why we wanted this information from the engineer with regard to the cost for rehabilitation. because they wanted to try to rehabilitate it, and Mitchell's office is notoriously famous for helping people and working with people, and if they can rehabilitate it, the city doesn't need that liability of the demolition, the cost of demolition. But they promised that if they were not able to rehabilitate it economically, that they would schedule a demolition date, and neither one of those happened.
If I'm not mistaken, and actually I'm pretty sure I'm not, I did a little homework, and at least on 2 previous occasions, ownership and/or prospective buyers of this property have researched rehabilitating this property, and let me just refer to them as environmental reasons, the cost became prohibitive to do that.
I'm not sure exactly why the cost was prohibitive, but I know that several years ago, I think the bank was already holding the property, and they had some interest from a group out of Phoenix or Scottsdale, and what was his name, Big Bob or Big Ed or something like that. He came in and visited with the city and the staff and me, and was gonna work up some kind of an assisted living plan to rehabilitate it, and it became cost prohibitive for him to be able to do that. And it may have been the environmental issues, I don't know. It might have been structural issues, I don't know.
Do we have additional questions at this point? If not, Mr. Alberts, if you would consider amending your motion?
Sure, I would amend it to read 60 days from this date.
Do we have a second?
I second.
Thank you. Do we have any additional discussion? Does council have any additional discussion? Having none, call the roll, please.
Yonda,
Yes.
Alberts,
Yes.
Russell,
Yes.
McCarron,
Yes.
Smith.
Yes. Item 4 is to consider approving a preliminary plat for a tract or parcel of land being a part of Lot 1, Block 19, Canadian Heights, 6th addition to the city of Yukon, Canadian County, Oklahoma, better known as 1127 Garth Brooks Boulevard, on behalf of Raising Cane's Restaurant, as recommended by the Planning Commission.
So moved.
Thank you. Do we have a second?
Second.
Thank you. Do we have any discussion? Any discussion? Call the roll, please.
Alberts,
Yes.
Smith,
Yes.
McCarron,
Yes.
Yonda,
Yes.
Russell,
Yes.
Item 5 is to consider approving an expenditure of funds in the amount not to exceed $2 million for the construction of the extension of Health Center Parkway, including water, sewer, drainage improvements, and utility relocation to be constructed by Brewer Construction, Oklahoma, under the terms of Brewer Construction, Oklahoma unit pricing contract as recommended by the Yukon Economic Development Authority Director. Do we have a motion?
Motion to approve.
Second.
Thank you. Do we have any discussion? Do we have any discussion? I'd just like to make a very quick comment. I think this is if approved, this is a huge step to moving that development of that area forward. Do we have any further discussion? Call the roll, please.
Smith,
Yes.
Yonda,
Yes.
Russell,
Yes.
McCarron,
Yes.
Alberts,
Yes.
Item 6 is the city manager's report. These are information items only.
First of all, would like to invite everybody to the community coffee Friday morning. We'll start with the what I refer to as gripping and grinning at about 8 o'clock in the morning, and then introductions will be made at 8:30. We certainly hope that you'll make a effort to show up for the community coffee at City Hall, 8 o'clock, and then introductions begin at 8:30. Saturday, December the 6th, this coming Saturday, beginning at 9:30 in the morning, we'll start the mayor's Christmas party for kids. At 9:30, the mayor's Christmas essay contest will be announced. The winners of that contest will be announced. And then from 10 a.m. to noon, the party will include Christmas characters, Christmas crafts, games, pictures, and a whole lot of fun. That's at the community center. The mayor's Christmas party for kids. Also, Thursday, December the 18th, Sounds of the Season, 7:30 Yukon Fine Arts Auditorium featuring the Oklahoma City Philharmonic. Tickets are on sale at all YMB locations in the Park and Recreation Facility around the city. I can also tell you, if you haven't gotten your tickets yet, you need to pretty quick because tickets are going quickly. So it's time to make a move on Sounds of the Season. Also, we are having Christmas in the Park, and I'd like to give you just a quick update. We've been open for 9 days, showing off 4.5 million lights. To date, we have had a total of 10,421 cars go through the Christmas in the Park. That is just over 1,000 cars a day that we have been open. We have also had train rides that have included 2,356 riders in 9 days. And also we have an opportunity to walk through the park, view the lights. That is enjoyed by a lot of people. Again, I would remind you that at the end of our 41-day run that ends on Christmas Eve, or I'm sorry, New Year's Eve, that we will have hosted at least 250,000 people in our park. It's quite an event, something to really be proud of, and we're very thankful that we have a staff that's able to put on an event like this. It's just really remarkable. With that, Mayor, I'll end my report and stand ready for your questions.
Thank you, sir. Do we have any questions for our city manager from the council? No questions. We'll move on to item 7. That's new business.
None tonight, Mr. Mayor.
Having no new business, we'll move on to item 8, council discussion. Mr. McCarron?
Well, I'd really like to thank the library board ladies for coming up and seeing us tonight. It's always a joy. It's always been a joy in my heart to see that Yukon has an outstanding library and a wonderful group of people that takes care of it, and I certainly want to recognize all of them once again. I'm very proud of our library and the things that they present to the city. I'd like to thank Mr. Babb for coming by tonight too, and speaking to us about his problem, and as same with Ms. Waller. I'm delighted that you came up tonight and spoke to us and everything. And it's a very important part of our life to have people come and participate. With that, I think that's it for me.
Thank you, sir. Mr. Russell?
I also would like to thank the library board for all their hard work and coming here tonight, and we really appreciate all that you do. I hope everybody gets out and goes and sees the Christmas lights and supports Yukon, and thank you all for coming. And something kind of out of place here, but can I bring up Mrs. Waller here real quick?
That portion of the meeting has actually
I just
gone
want
by.
to see if she understands what the 60 days mean. Can we tell her that?
I think that Mr. Segler will maintain that.
I'll address them after the meeting, yes, sir.
You might get your answers. That's all for me.
Thank you, Mr. Russell. Ms. Yonda?
I would also like to say thank you to our library staff and those that serve on the board. We appreciate all that you do. And I just want to encourage everyone to get out and take advantage of all the wonderful activities we have in Yukon this holiday season. Thank you.
Mr. Alberts?
Thank you, ladies, for coming, and want to remind everybody to shop in Yukon. Mr. Opitz, the chamber, shop here and support your local community. Enjoy the lights, enjoy Christmas, and Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas, everybody. We stand adjourned.